Before the builders start work on my new house here in France, I have to lay a concrete base for a store in which to keep my ride-on mower and other tools. I can't use the electric cement mixer that I have already, as I don't yet have electricity on site, plus it's stuck in storage anyway. So I looked around for another one with an engine. I found this one on Le Bon Coin, the French free small ad site. The seller said that he couldn't start it because its carburettor needed cleaning. Yeah, I thought the same as you. And there was no fuel in the tank anyway. But it had compression and didn't make any nasty noises when I spun it over. So even though it was on offer for only €90, I knocked him down to 80 and bought it anyway. The big question then, of course, was, will it run?
Hi everyone, I just bought this cement mixer off Le Bon Coin, which is the French equivalent of eBay. It's a free ads website. I just paid €80 for it. Okay, it's pretty good cement mixer, nice and clean. The inside of the drum is nice. It's not full up of old dried concrete that people have left. Looks as though it's been quite well looked after. I got a bit worried yesterday, having brought it back quite a distance, about 80 kilometres. It looks as though some oil has found its way out. I hope it isn't because there's a gasket problem or a crankcase problem. Anyway, I'll have to come to that when I can find out whether it will actually work or not. The guy who sold it to me said he's selling it cheap because he says there's a carburettor problem. Well, I don't know if there is a carburettor problem. The French are notoriously not very mechanical, and he maybe just has had a problem getting it running. He said it used to run okay, so I'm going to see if I can get it running this morning. All I've done so far is I've taken the plug out. I'll just show you. I've taken the plug out. It looks to be quite a new plug. It was slightly loose this morning when I pulled it out, but it had a very big gap in it. I've gapped it to 30 thou, which is what Briggs and Stratton say this engine should be. So what I'm just going to do, I'm going to get a little bit of fuel. This is some old fuel. I don't know where I got this from. It was from a chainsaw or something. I'm not sure whether there's any oil in it. If there is some oil in it, it may be a good thing. But I'm going to put a drop of fuel in. Okay, drop of fuel directly into the cylinder there. And we'll see. Let's put that down there. Put the plug back in. I've already checked, and I know that this thing here, this is obviously the earth to stop the engine. I've got that in, so there was a spark this morning. And now let's give it a pull through and see whether we get anything. Wow! Hey, wow! So the engine runs. So we know the engine does run. That's okay, good. I'm not going to do any more with that because I haven't checked the oil yet. I've also taken the air cleaner off. Now he said there was a carburettor problem. Whether putting some fuel straight into the carburettor here, we'll check whether the carburettor is okay. I don't know. The fuel tank is empty, but I'll put a drop of fuel in there, straight into the carburettor, and see whether putting it in the carburettor, it looks as though we've got a leak here. That I think is perhaps a primer. Hey, there you go. So putting fuel directly into the carburettor, it runs. I think the next step is to get it off the trailer here, get it onto the ground, put some fuel in the tank and see what happens. It may be that there's nothing wrong at all. Since I took it off the trailer, I've tightened the plug, which was still only finger tight, and I have actually had it running. But just to show you, this is the choke. Pull the choke, open the throttle, give it a pull, So there you go, nothing basically wrong with it. And I have to say I think that was a pretty good €80 worth from yesterday, which is equivalent of about what, £75, something like that, bit under £75. I would say that if I can get the engine running smoothly, although it seems not too bad for a concrete mixer, it would actually mix cement. It sounds as though it should work okay. Problem is that I think this is the wrong belt. The big wheel here doesn't seem to have an edge to it here, and I'm finding that as soon as the engine starts, especially being as it's tilted this way, the belt is coming off. I had another look at the belt on this cement mixer, and I found that I wasn't quite pushing it far enough back onto the main pulley. There is a tiny little groove in the main pulley, not very much, but I hadn't pushed it in, and it was tending to feed off the main pulley in this area over here. So I've just given it a push over and make it tighter and firmer on that main pulley. I've run it actually before, but just to show you, I don't think I'm going to need the choke. Give it a pull. So there you go, it seems to work okay. Not bad for €80.